From the Home Slice News Center, this is the Daily Slice for Friday, February 2nd of 2024. I'm Amy Rose. D-Ray Knight is out, and this is what's going on. November proved to be another record-setting month for Rapid City sales tax revenues. The city took in $76.4 million, which was up 1.6% from November of 2022. The growth is in keeping with the average 2% growth seen over the last 11 months. Rapid City Finance Director Daniel Ainsley says sales tax revenues from tourism had significant growth in the last year. Ainsley says the overall rate of growth is currently under the rate of inflation, but added that steady growth over the last 3 years is promising. An attempt to raise the state minimum wage over 3 years to $15 an hour failed in a Senate committee yesterday. Kevin Phillips has the details.
The Senate Commerce and Energy Committee sent SB 132 on the 41st legislative day with an 8-1 vote. The bill's sponsor, Democratic Senator Reynold Nezaba of Sioux Falls, based the bill on an initiated measure Nebraska voters passed in 2022. The bill would have ramped up the $15 an hour minimum wage in steps, $12.50 in 2024, $13.50 in 2025, and $15 in 2026.
In national and international news, a recent poll indicates a tight race between former President Donald Trump and current President Joe Biden on a national scale. The survey reveals that 49% of registered voters would support Trump if an election were held today, while 45% would back Biden, and 5% express a preference for another candidate. Although neither Biden nor Trump has secured their party's nomination, this outcome appears probable. Nevertheless, the poll suggests that in a hypothetical matchup against Biden, Trump's main GOP rival, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, holds a significant lead. Regardless of the potential nominees, the data suggests that a victory by either frontrunner would result in widespread dissatisfaction across the nation. The parents of a Michigan school shooter are on trial for manslaughter. Kevin Phillips has more.
The parents of a Michigan school shooter are currently facing separate manslaughter trials, raising questions about their accountability for their child's crimes. Jennifer Crumbly, the mother of the teenager who in 2021 killed 4 people at an Oxford, Michigan high school. Well, she testified in her trial on Thursday. She asserted that her husband was responsible for securely storing their son's gun. However, the prosecution contends that she is culpable for the deaths due to her gross negligence in providing her son with a firearm and neglecting to seek proper mental health treatment despite evident warning signs. The defense is countered by placing blame elsewhere, on the husband for purchasing the weapon, the school for not informing her about her son's behavioral issues, and ultimately on the shooter himself. And it is worth noting that the gunman is presently serving a life sentence in prison without the possibility of parole.
The primary United Nations relief agency operating in Gaza has signaled that it may be compelled to cease its operations in the region by the end of February if financial support from almost 20 nations continues to be suspended. The funding suspension occurred after Israel accused some of the agency's personnel of involvement in the October 7th attacks. This development has raised concerns about the well-being of the approximately 6 million refugees served by the relief group. In a parallel development, the United States has announced the inflation of the first set of sanctions under President Biden's recent executive order, specifically targeting violent Israeli settlers in the West Bank. These sanctions, which include freezing the settlers' financial assets and prohibiting their entry into the U.S., are directed at 4 Israeli nationals. Your weather forecast from the Home Slice Weather Center. Today, foggy until around noon. Later, sunny with a high around 49. That was your Daily Slice for Friday, February 2nd of 2024. The Daily Slice is a production of Home Slice Media Group, hosted by D-Ray Knight and Amy Rose. Executive producer Mark Houston. Engineered by Chris Jacquez. I'm Amy Rose. Have a great day.